Hi there everyone, hope you're well. I'm Demi, Vanessa, your host and presenter for this lovely Sunday afternoon, and I'm from IndustryMe, which is a music platform for upcoming artists. And today, joined with me, I have SABRI.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Amazing, yes. You're actually so lucky that you came on a day where the weather's really nice, because in London it's usually, the weather's just awful.
Listen, I know, because it's the same as in the Netherlands, and I'm
Yes,
low-key
you're from the
shocked
Netherlands,
as
right?
well, because it's
Literally.
actually hotter here than it's back home. And
No
usually
way.
it's the other way around.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
So you're super lucky that you've actually joined us on a really good day. So you're over in the UK right now, you're doing a bit of promo. Is this your first time in the UK? How's it going for you at the moment?
It's going very well, and thanks for having me, first of all.
Of course.
I mean, I've been here a lot for music, just to like write music, record music, but this is my actually first time doing promo.
Right.
So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, 100%. Because I know initially, like your love for old school music and like neo soul actually came from your father, right? Like
Yes.
he introduced you to like the old souls, like Otis Redding.
Yes.
And like Lauryn Hill as well. So you had that balance when you were growing up.
Well, it was more with my dad. He's a very like you said, a huge like old school fan. But actually, he was a fan of like a lot of different type of music and artists. So it would be like
100%.
literally James Brown, and we have like Michael Jackson and stuff.
Yeah,
but
all the
also
greats.
Otis Redding, all the greats. And this is like back in like the CD time. And I remember I was like, when I was young, I would like go through his CDs and I'd find like all this like Stevie Wonder stuff. And I was like so amazed by it. I was like, this is like different than pop. And don't get me wrong, I love pop as well. But I was just like not used to like hearing that sound on the radio or on TV, because back in the day, you had MTV, and growing up, it was the Aaliyah era. It was Destiny's Child,
Early
which was gonna
2000s.
start like early 90s, I would say, because I'm from 91. So I really grew up like.
So you're a real 90s baby.
I'm a real,
You're a real
90s baby.
I love that.
I'm a real nice baby. Yeah, no, so that was what I was like watching and listening to, like the music videos and stuff. And then my dad was having like way different stuff. And I was like, whoa, like I think in the 90s, there was like a switch, right? It was like R&B, but it was also like leaning more towards like hip hop a little bit, a little bit pop. So it's like not that old school soul anymore. So I was like amazed by that. And then I have an older brother who he's 8 years older than me.
Right.
And he grew up in the 80s more. And he was such a huge fan of like hip hop and R&B. And he kind of like introduced me to more like neo soul, so D'Angelo, Lauryn Hill, the rap stuff, A Tribe Called Quest, and I feel like all of that combined,
it helped you.
It just helped me.
Yeah, because I'm always interested to know, especially for artists, like how is it growing up in a musical household? Like, did that help you shape your sound today? Like, is it nature versus nurture sort of thing?
No, it's 100%. I mean, I think my luck is that I grew up in a time where we didn't have internet. So it was really just what you were having at home and what you were able to buy or get from your
100%.
parents or your brother or whoever was like gifting you CDs. And then when I was like 9 or 10, internet was introduced at home. That completely changed everything, because now I was able to like go online and find my own, like whatever I was liking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely helped me to like shape into the artist
your
I
sound,
am right
like
yeah,
you are
and my
today.
sound, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's actually a funny thing, because I was doing a bit of research, like, you know, over the course of the week, and I kind of feel like, especially for you now as a European artist, I feel like this is a perfect time for you to break into other territories like the US and the UK music scene because of the internet.
Oh, yes.
So in a way, it's sort of, people sort of scrutinize social media, but I feel like for emerging artists like yourself, it's how you utilize it to your advantage. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can definitely use the internet to connect with a wider audience globally.
True.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're over here now. So I just want to know how you sort of utilize social media, or what you think about social media in the age of music now as an emerging artist. Like, how do you think it's helped you?
It definitely helped me. It's a big blessing. Also a curse. I will get to that too, you know, in a minute. But I feel like the way I used it, I'm not gonna lie, I finessed my way through it.
Sometimes you actually have to finesse, like,
listen.
sometimes you just have to find those roots.
Because I knew, like, when I decided to really, like, take music seriously and wanted to, like, create my own music and not just sing, but really, like, be able to write my own stuff, I was in the Netherlands, which R&B is not like very big, you know, it's not really a thing.
I wanted to ask you that actually.
Yeah,
about
it's
the
not.
Netherlands.
It's not at all.
What is the music scene like in the Netherlands in terms of R&B?
Dutch hip hop.
Right.
So hip hop, but then, you know, with Dutch rappers who rap in Dutch.
Right.
And Dutch music, like pop music.
Right.
And house. Listen, the Netherlands is like literally, they call Amsterdam the capital of EDM. So house music, one of the biggest DJs are from Amsterdam. Like you have Martin Garrix, Armin van Buuren, Afrojack. There are a lot of big names coming from there. So that's like the scene. And me wanted to do like neo soul, old school soul type of music. There was nobody around that could like produce me or and help me with that. So the way social media came into play, I had to like search for my own like instrumentals and music to like be able to write. So what I would do, I would go online, find like this is by the way really ghetto. There is this musicians will know this site. It's called SoundClick. It's basically SoundClick. Okay. It's like an online platform. I'm not sure if it still exists. I do think it still exists.
Is it something in the Netherlands or is it
no? It's like a global thing, and
cool.
I know that musicians will know this, but I call it ghetto as fuck. It's
well,
ghetto.
Why though? Is it like downloading stuff like, illegally?
I don't know. It's like it's just like you just don't go there to really like if you like take like music serious. It's not like really something you should like go on. Not should go on, but it's just people just don't do it. Like the actual like producers we know and produce like big artists, they just don't go there. Yeah. But anyway, it was the only platform I knew how to like find these beats because. The thing about SoundClick, you can like go online, you have all these genres, you can like literally choose which genre you like. And for me that was like obviously R&B, neo soul, and you click on it, you find like all these producers that put like their instrumentals online and you just like choose whatever you like and you download it for free. So what I would do is I would use these instrumentals, I would write something to it, like a hook or a verse. I knew how to record myself, so I would like record myself on my MacBook. And what I would do back in the day, it was like Instagram had only like these 15-second video clips. You remember that? Like now you can like, there was like, when they first started to do video, it was like you can only do like 15 seconds.
So there was a limit. I never knew that, by the way.
There was a limit, yeah.
I feel like I sort of joined Instagram later.
Oh, maybe that's why, because, you know, then they expanded to like a minute, you know, and now it's like
now it's just like endless.
Whatever,
isn't it now?
endless. Yeah, I think probably only like Reels has like a you know a limit, but videos when it first started it had like a 15-second limit, and I was like perfect. I would just literally write just hooks or something, and I would just like choose the part that I really like. I would literally Instagram it, and then finesse my shit out of that clip, and then go like on these like pages, find producers, connect with them through DM, because then at one point we didn't even have DM. Like back, like when it first started, there was no DM. You had to like go through like these like different apps to like actually connect with people on Instagram, and then it got a little bit easier when you were able to like direct message these people. Yeah. But that's how social media for me helped me in the beginning. Now the curse though, since it's so big and everybody can do it, literally everybody does it. Yeah. So it's difficult to like
sort of navigate your way. 100%.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
Because I read as well that you actually left your hometown of the Netherlands to go to New York to sort of help you develop your songwriting career and stuff like that. And I sort of wanted to talk about that further because I feel like you're right, like back then, there wasn't really, and maybe it's a European thing, that there wasn't that home for R&B artists to sort of, you know, like emerge and become popular. It's more so like you have to go to America to make it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that whole journey, like even, you know, Ambrosia from she's part of that group called Floetry.
Oh,
but she
yes,
she did the same thing, like with
Yes.
her and her group. She's from the UK.
Yeah,
She had to go
no,
to
yeah,
New York
yeah.
and America to become big. So it's sort of similar to you.
Yeah.
I just want to know, what sort of things did you learn when you went to New York? Like, did you come back learning anything new? And do you feel like going to New York was the right move at the time?
So yeah, at the time, the reason why I chose New York, I went to college a little bit in the US.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Right.
And that was like, for me, the first experience I had with the scene, and I saw like how easy it was to connect with the so-called famous people.
Yeah.
I was like, you can literally just walk the street or go to a club and you literally have like a rapper or a singer or whatever in front of you.
So there's a lot of connections.
There's
there.
a lot of connections. I was like, I kind of like kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, so I always thought that it's so difficult to connect with these people coming from Europe. Like you see these people on TV, and like to actually make it internationally. I was like, I'm a firm believer of like speaking things into existence and just believing yourself. So if you want something, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
But I was like, still like, how do I get there?
How do you actually
But when
do
I
it?
went to college there and I saw like how easy it was to connect with these people, I kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, you know what? America's not even that like a far reach like that. I went home, finished college back home, and then I was like, you know what? The moment I get my degree, I'm gonna pack my stuff and I'm gonna go to the US to develop as a writer. Because I felt like, okay, I'm a singer, I have that on lock, but I wanna develop as a writer and be better and better and better. So what better way to do that? To go literally to the source of soul music. That was my whole game plan. I was like, let's go to the source of soul music, which for me, it was the US.
It was the US, 100%.
And there were like two cities I was thinking about. It was either LA or it was New York. The reason why I chose New York, and I'm very glad I did, first of all, I followed that instinct, that gut feeling. It's so strong. Follow that. It's so strong, especially I feel like as a woman, we have that sixth sense of
it's
things.
true.
Like,
That
it
you
just
have to
told me
follow
go to New York.
what's true to yourself.
Exactly. And then two, since I went to college there, I had friends, not in the industry, but I was like, you know what, if I feel bored or anything, I can easily link up with people, like have dinner or whatever. So it was like also like a more social life type of, decision. Packed my stuff, went to New York, and one thing that really stood out for me was, one, I was right about the connecting thing. It took me like a minute to like actually like meet producers and stuff. It took me like I think 3 or 4 weeks before I finally had a session.
Making those connections, yeah.
Yeah, but once I had that connection, boom. Every day I would meet new people. I would be in the studio, something would like, somebody would like come by or come check the session.
Yeah. So it's basically like the perfect hub for you. Like everything was all in one.
It was all in
much.
one. And then one thing that really, because you asked me like, what did I get out of that trip? It's just the hustle that you have in New York. Everybody is just on the go.
I feel like as an artist as well, you sort of have to be on your toes as well and be ready for anything. Like be able to drop your bags at any moment if the opportunity is there. Like, it's all about how hungry you are as well, you know? 1,000%. And I know initially that you actually started writing songs for others, or like you helped other artists write their songs, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always intrigued as to finding out like how writers sort of make that switch in between becoming their own artist, because it's hard, like you write songs for others, but you don't necessarily have the confidence to branch out and be like, you know what, let me try my own thing. Like, let me see if I can actually sing to my own music. So how was that transition for you when you realized, you know what, I'm gonna do this for myself now?
Yeah, well, I guess it's gonna maybe sound weird, but I feel like if something is meant to happen, it will happen. And in my case, I was actually not even interested in being an artist.
You weren't?
No.
What were you interested in being then?
I was gonna be one of the best songwriters in the world, and I still have that dream. I wanna still write for
you can
these
still do
A-list
both
artists.
though.
I can do both.
You can do both.
And that's what I'm
There's
trying
no limits, you know.
No, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I might write the next
Listen,
best hit.
I feel like there's no limits. I feel like, especially in the music industry, there's certain, I don't know, maybe it's a UK thing. Like there's certain limits like you hit, and then it's like people don't expect you to go further. But for me, I'm thinking if you're multifaceted, if you have more than one talent, why not do them all?
Yeah, sky's the limit.
The sky is literally your limit. The world is your oyster.
There's like a weird thing about like, oh, you can only do one thing. No, you can do literally, if you're good at it, you just do it. Or if you love it, you don't even have to be good at it, just do it.
Yeah.
But for me, what happened, I wanted to be a songwriter. I was just focusing mainly on that. I wanted to like develop my writing skills. And what kind of like happened in my case, while doing that, while writing these songs, and I would literally write not only old school stuff, I would write house records, pop records,
and
even
electronic
rap,
as well, right?
Electronic, rap stuff, everything. I didn't mind, I just did it. As long as I was able to write and develop. And I would like do these songs, and then I just pitched them to like the managers or the publishers, whatever. And at the time, I was also like doing, not label meetings, but I would do like publishing meetings like Sony or Warner, and I would like go into these meetings to like, to play my songs for them. And literally every time I would leave these meetings, they would be like, but wait, why are you not an artist? I'm like, I'm here as a writer. Yeah, but you can definitely be an
just
artist.
Do it yourself, yeah.
And I would keep hearing that. And I was like, okay. I was like, at the moment, I don't want to. So I would like literally hold off on opportunities. I would like get certain opportunities. I would be like, no, I don't want to like do that for now. Like I would get like DJs asking me like, hey, the top line you wrote for us to pitch to another singer, the DJ actually wants you to like be on it. And I would like decline that because I was like, I don't know right now what I really want to do with that artist thing. I just didn't have the vision yet.
Yeah.
And for me, like I only want to do something if I can see where I want to go with that. Because otherwise it can be dangerous, especially as a female in this industry and being in a country like that, and I'm talking about the US. If you're not sure about what it is exactly you want to stand for, girl, you can be really lost in translation.
No,
it can be very, very dangerous actually. You can like end up doing things you don't want to do.
Yeah. Like
maybe dress a certain way, do certain like music, whatever you don't want to do just because you're not like confident about your art.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of like, it just meant to happen, I think, I would like hear that over and over. And then at one point, I believe at my last trip, I think I was in LA for a few months, and then I got back and I was actually, what happened, there was a well-known singer, like an A-list artist who took my song. And then I was like, it was actually Something I Know, my second single. So it was placed at an artist, and that was like my number one artist I wanted to write for. So basically my dream came true. And then the artist ended up not putting out music.
Right.
Because that's another thing. You can like write for artists, but it's also like, whenever they put music out, they're gonna put music out. And if they feel like they're not gonna put music out for like 5 years or 6 years, then it's not gonna happen. You can write however you want to write, and that was, like I said, like my number. If I can accomplish that, my dreams came true. So they took my song, and I just kept waiting, and the artist never put music out, like in general. So I was like, you know what? I'm just tired of this politics. I'm tired of this game. You need to like know this person and that person, and even if you're good, but you don't know that person, they won't take it serious. So I was kind of like tired of that whole like waiting game. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like do this myself. You know what?
Yeah, just do it
Take
yourself,
these songs. I like them. I'm gonna put them out myself.
100%.
So that's how it kind of like made that switch.
Interesting. That's really interesting because I know your debut single "Lost in You," which was released in 2019. When I was actually listening to the song, it had a lot of different elements to it. Like it was like a mixture of everything all in once. It sounded like 1950s like blues. It was more blues. It was a lot of blues, but then also there was like an electronic element to it. So I want to know how you sort of came up with the song, and obviously I know you're a songwriter as well. Yeah. So was there anything that inspired that song, or did you just think, you know what, I'm feeling this tune, let me just write something to it?
No, it's actually, so Lost is a funny story. I was in a session for a DJ actually, and he wanted something soulful, like electronic DJ. And there was also the guy on the guitar who does the guitar. He was also there. And I just asked him, like, can you play a riff? And I just like showed him what it was I needed. And then he played that. And then I immediately
You were drawn
freestyled on it.
Okay.
I immediately freestyled on it. I had an idea for it, and then I did it. And then the DJ was like, "Yeah, it's dope. It's very dope, but it's not what I'm looking for."
Right.
But I was like, "Okay, cool." So I parked that, and then after the session, I told the guy, the guitar guy, I was like, "Listen, we're gonna finish this." So we did another session.
You put
and then
pressure on him.
Yeah, I was like, "We're gonna finish this," and I didn't even like. Meant to like put it out myself. I just wanted to write it and then see whatever happens.
Yeah, see where
so
it
I
took you
wrote
sort of
it,
thing.
and sometimes like, I mean, I do a lot of sessions. I write a lot of songs, but sometimes there are like these songs that you just know when you write them. You just know like, okay, this is a special song. Like this can go somewhere.
Definitely.
And yeah. I forgot the question. What was the question again? Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
It was just about lost in
Oh, just
You,
about how that came
and
about.
how it came
Yeah.
about. Like, did
Yeah.
you write it and then heard the beat, or did you hear
No,
the
it
beat
was
then
like
write it?
going
It was
like,
going
yeah, it
with
was
the
like,
flow,
yeah,
right?
go with the
Going with
flow.
the flow.
Like we started it from scratch. I was like, wait, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, so that's how Lost in You came about, real fast. Like I wrote that song really fast. But also I feel like, you know, when you don't put pressure sometimes on things, because I've been in sessions like trying to write for artists because it was like a writing camp or whatever, and like I would like completely just have a writer's block
blank, yeah.
because of the pressure. Or
That
something.
does happen, you know. Like when you go in with so much pressure put on your chest, it's like you completely forget what you even came in there to do in the first place. It happens.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It definitely
Ooh,
happens.
yeah. No, and that can
1000%.
depress you as an artist. Now I learned how to like navigate through it and like deal with it.
You know how you know what you're coming with now. You got confidence. You have to have
Well,
confidence.
yeah, but I still have those writer block moments, and still when I'm like sometimes in sessions for other artists, whatever. Sometimes I feel the pressure, and then if you're just not inspired, you're just not inspired, and you can't really force it. And I used to like be very demotivated by stuff like that, but now I've learned how to like quickly snap out of it. For me personally, I just like tell the guys, like the producer, whoever's there, like, listen, it's just not gonna happen today. It's better to not waste your time. You're not wasting my time. Let's just call it a day and maybe try another time. And I just leave. And I definitely don't do anything with music that day. I just go watch a movie, do something else, go out with friends, whatever. I feel like you need to like live life as well to like come up with inspiration.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lost in You was definitely one of those songs where that just like came out of my mind,
Just came
out
out.
of my heart. It literally came out of my heart.
Yeah.
So.
And your other single as well, Something I Know, that debuted at like number 42 on the Dutch airwaves. So it's almost like your journey is just getting bigger and bigger with each song you release. So I think you should definitely keep going. And I wanted to ask you as well, like while you're in the UK or just maybe in general, is there any other artists that you would even want to collab with in the UK?
Oh, yes.
Or like, this is like 2 in 1 by the way, 2 for 1.
Yeah.
or would you ever go out of your comfort zone in terms of music and do another genre in the lead up to like releasing a massive project? Like,
I would.
Are you up for experimenting? Answer my first question.
Your question. I will
Like, a
answer your
2-in-1
first
there.
question.
Yeah.
So definitely yes. There are a few
who you
artists.
feeling? I wanna know.
S.G. Lewis.
Love him. I actually love S.G.
yes.
Lewis, by the way. He's so cool.
Yes, I would definitely want to work with him.
Yeah.
He's a big
He's super
yes
cool.
for me. That's one. I like his electronic soulful stuff.
Exactly. Electronic soulful.
Yeah, it's very nice. That's one. In terms of like big collabs, like to go more like in a pop way, I would say Disclosure. Disclosure is very pop, but also very obviously electronic.
Yeah, but they are a little bit soulful as well.
They started
In a sense.
really soulful electronic, a little bit like S.G. Lewis, more in that lane. And then I feel like their last project was more pop. I think they did like they did Khalid, like they did some big tunes, but Disclosure is really high on my list.
100%.
But you know what? I'm always up for a challenge, so I would like also like collab with Stormzy or
Yeah.
I'm just a fan of music in general.
In general, so you're up for it, 100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, electronic and R&B, like, you wouldn't think they work, but when done correctly, it does work. Because the thing I love about Disclosure is that they always have someone soulful on their beat, which I think is really niche and unique. And I definitely think you definitely sort of fit into that category as well.
Thank you. Let's connect them.
Yeah, let's connect them. So yeah, I'm just gonna ask you like a few more questions, and then we can wrap it up. So yeah, actually no, this is my last question, I think. Yes. So do you think, like, how important is it to have a strong relationship with your fan base? Like, do you think that's important? Like, for example, do you think the music industry sort of controls artists in terms of saying when they're relevant or not? Or do you think it's more important to have a fan base that sort of rocks with you until the end, even if the music industry, you know, doesn't brand you as like hot? Do you know what I mean?
No, 100% a loyal fan base. And
over everything,
especially over everything, loyal fan base. I feel like, you know, one of the artists that really does that well is Brent Faiyaz.
You think?
Yeah, he has a very loyal fan base.
He does actually. But and the thing is about him, which I like some artists, I like how they come in and out. Yeah. Like, they're not always on the charts, so they're not always bringing out a song every 5 minutes. Yeah. It's like, and you're right as well, it is important to have a fan base because they know they can come back at any point and that song they drop within 5 months and the next 5 months is
people are still gonna listen.
People are gonna still rock with it. Do you sort of want to follow that?
Yeah, it's not that I like follow a certain like, you know, way of doing it. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm just doing it naturally, but I do have to say that if I were to choose, I would choose a loyal fan base over like a big crowd that you cannot depend on, because at the end of the day, let me just explain it like this. Let's say you have 10,000 loyal fans, right? And it's a money example, and it's not about the money, but I'm just like to just really like explain it. Let's say you have 10,000 fans, which let's say for Brent Faiyaz, that's not like really hard. I think he has even more than that. SZA, whatever. Like, these are people that have loyal fans, right? Let's just say you have 10,000 fans, and these 10,000 fans are gonna do like buy everything you put out. Let's say you're gonna have an album, which is gonna be $10. 10,000, multiply that with $10. That's $100K, right? You're also gonna have merch. Let's say your t-shirt is gonna be $10 as well, and those 10,000 fans are gonna buy that $10 shirt. That's another $100K. Then you're gonna have a show, and they also gonna go to your show. That's another 10.
It's true, so it's like, there's always ways.
There's always ways, and that's like $300K a year. So that's just the only way for me to show you like how important it is to have loyal fans, because at the end of the day, we can be in another pandemic, we can be like, you know, I'm gonna be old at one point, you know, maybe not relevant anymore to like the younger people, but my loyal fans will always still, you know, they will be there 100%. And they will like rock with me
till the end.
Till the end. Yeah. So that's how important that is.
Yeah. And this is my last question now, but touching on that point about being relevant and stuff, obviously we know how fickle the music industry is. Like, as I said before, you're hot 1 minute and you're not hot the next. So like, what do you think is there a key? Like, is there a recipe into staying sustainable or relevant? Because a lot of artists, they have like 5-10 years, then they go into producing or acting, and it's sort of like they have to leave music because the newbies are in. So what do you think is the key to staying relevant, or like, what's the key? I want to know.
I feel like personally, it's to be yourself. It sounds cliche,
authentic, right?
And be authentic to yourself. Like, not do anything just to follow the hype. Just to follow whatever you like to do. Like, and if that means that you do want to have a house single out or a rap or whatever, just do it. Like, just do it, because it's coming from the heart. And I feel like that's the key. Just stay true to yourself, do whatever you want to do, and if it's authentic, they will like it.
I feel like authenticity wins over everything. It will always win over anything.
Yeah, because I think even like sometimes, I mean, I definitely see it. If I see an artist like who's doing something different or has been told to do something,
you can tell right off the bat.
You can tell. You'll be like, no, girl, this is not you. You don't want to like wear that stuff, or you don't want to like make that type of music. Like, you can really tell.
Like Pink, because she started off doing R&B first, didn't she? Yeah. Like, she was molded, I think, and then she sort of just was like, you know,
she started as an R&B artist.
F that, let me just do.
Yep, exactly. There are a lot of artists that, you know, and I don't know if she wanted to make the switch, but I feel like, you know, being relevant. Also, it's about yourself. Like, it's a selfish game. To me, it's about myself, and that sounds very selfish. But at the end of the day, I have to be happy with what I'm doing. And,
I agree.
You know,
in all aspects, in all areas.
Yes, in all areas, of course.
100%.
You have to be happy first, and then the rest comes. Don't live for other people. So yeah, that's just
amazing. Well, it's been so amazing to talk to you. I feel like I've learned so much about you as an artist and sort of I feel like you're just really real, and I love that.
Thank you.
I think you're really
Appreciate
well. I think you're going to go far, and it's amazing that